What up, though? And welcome to Free for All Friday right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your live Detroit Lions news and rumors show. We do it every week, people. Welcome to the show. Y'all know how we get down, man. It's Friday, then hey, it's Saturday, Sunday. Well, it is Free for All Friday. First up, let me introduce who's on the panel today. Y'all know who it is. It's the queen of the Prowl, Miss Valerie Bordeaux. What's going on, queen?
What's up, Prowl Nation? It's time to talk some more football.
Man, hey, if y'all didn't know, me and him hung out yesterday on his channel, and now he's over here. It's my man, Mike Kimber of Lions Nation Unite. What's going on, Mike?
Hi, guys.
Hey, man, we had OTAs yesterday. It's a whole bunch of, exciting things going on, man. And let's just start with the comedy first of all, man, because it was hysterical to me. What did you think of Dan Campbell wearing a t-shirt of Brad Holmes wearing a Dan Campbell t-shirt? It was absolutely phenomenally hilarious when that happened yesterday. To see him walk out with a picture of Brad Holmes wearing a picture of him on his shirt was absolutely hysterical. What did you guys think about Dan Campbell's shirt yesterday?
I think it was just like, it's fun. It's good, clean, cheesy PR. But to be honest, it's a little bit of a distraction. But hey, if they want to have some fun, go for it.
I mean, it's OTAs. Well, how much of a distraction really can it be? Like, you can't even, there's no contact right now. I just think it was like good-hearted fun. They got their bromance. The bromance is well documented that them two dudes how they get along, and I would have thought it was absolutely hilarious. What you got, Mike?
I absolutely love it. The connection between Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell is glorious. Aaron Glenn was talking about how you need the general manager and the head coach to be, have a good relationship. And just the craziest thing is, remember, Brad Holmes didn't hire Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell was hired by Sheila, and then Brad Holmes then was hired. But these two have become best friends, it seems like. If you've noticed, Brad Holmes is bulky, and it looks like he's been nailing the gym quite a bit. And obviously that's from Dan Campbell. I absolutely love it. I'm all about memes. I'm all about doing funny stuff and having Easter eggs. That is the type of stuff that makes me laugh my ass off. I got to lie, is when you do hidden things that people may not be paying attention to. And then it happens. Just like that cat was walking behind Queen of the Prowl back there. I started laughing when I seen it. That's the type of fun. You're having fun. And I think other people do that type of stuff too, like the players as well.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, and I was like, is he wearing a shirt of a guy wearing a shirt with him? I'm like, that's freaking crazy. But
are we are in football inception, really?
Yeah, I mean, you look at that, and you're like, are these guys? I mean, but what, though? What's football if it's not fun? You know what I'm saying?
Hell
like, you got to have some fun to it. Now, Dan Campbell did make some serious comments yesterday doing his opening presser saying that, hey, forget about last season. We're starting fresh this year. What's going on with the team? We can't rely on what happened in the past. We have to go forward. This is a brand new team. It's a brand new squad. We have to go forward and make sure that we don't, rely on past success, because they really didn't have any. You look at it, 9-8, yeah, that's a winning season, but they didn't make the goal of making the playoffs postseason. So they still have things to work on, but I just think that was absolutely comedic genius. I mean, Dan Campbell is an absolute joker himself. I mean, he clowns all the time. I mean, the bad thing about it is people take him serious. You're like, no, man, the dude's joking, man. Like, get over yourself, man. I mean, I understand some people don't understand some dry humor at times, but that was absolutely. And he's talking, oh, my wife found it. No, she did.
It's like how he said going on that fourth down play with Panay Sewell, I was looking at the wave.
Yeah, I was looking at the wave, man. like, oh man, somebody said go for it. I said don't go for it, and my mic cut out, and somebody said go for it. Like it. The guy is absolutely funny, man. I love Dan Campbell, man. I love what he brings to the team, man. He's a player's coach, and he's a leader, but he has the side of him that's absolutely hysterical, man. And I love the shirt. What are they saying in the comments about the shirt?
Let's see. I know that Dan Campbell said he thought it was great. Yeah. So yeah, I mean it was just something fun. I mean, it was just funny, and it's a great like a team family building moment and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's just a great way to just let loose and have some fun in the off season, and and let everybody have a good time. Why not have a good time in Detroit?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Lions fans and the Lions fan base in the city of Detroit deserves to have some fun. With the amount of things that the city of Detroit has dealt with over the past few years, and the history of the team. So, I mean, you look at it, the Red Wings and the Pistons struggled so much last year. The Lions were improved, and now the Tigers are, they're improved. They're, still have below 500, but they're in second place of a week in AL Central. But hey, they're still in second place. So hey, I'll take a win when I can get it. But hey, thank you guys for joining us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Man, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, be a part of the Prowl Nation family. Ring the notification bell so you know you're getting fresh content from the channel right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Y'all know, if y'all don't know, I'll make sure we keep telling y'all on June the 5th, the Detroit Lions on the Prowl, the lunchtime show will no longer exist. It's moving to the evenings. Starting on the 5th of June, it will be 7 p.m. for the weekday shows. And we're still going to do Free for All Fridays, but
we do Free for All Fridays tonight as well.
Okay, so we for All Fridays, we'll move into the evenings. Curt still will pop in sometimes, Friday evenings when I get the chance. But the Lions on the Prowl, family is a little bit changing. So as far as what we're gonna be doing, then let's welcome to the show my man Luke G of Luke G's Fear Review. What's going on, Luke?
What's going on, family? Hey, Pride Nation, what up, though?
Man, now I just talked to Val and Mike about this, but what did you think of Dan Campbell's shirt in his presser yesterday? The Dan Campbell shirt wearing a shirt of Brad Holmes wearing a Dan Campbell shirt. What did you think of his shirt yesterday?
I love the bromance. I think it's a beautiful thing to see you have fun with it. And I think if you be honest with you can do a running joke with that. Just keep having it going. Like how you have a mirror in front of another mirror, it just keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean. To me, I like it. It showed that they are at least on the same page, so I know who to blame when I blame the other.
Yeah, of course, Luke's gonna have that.
I'm just saying.
I gotta blame everybody at the same time.
Yeah, everybody deserves a little bit of love.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Brent DeWitt says, after seeing the assistant DL coach interview with Tim Twentyman, the next new shirts will say violence.
Oh, absolutely. The D-line coach, he's all about that action, boss. And even the same thing, Aline McNeil, he said the word violence in his interview with Tim Twentyman as well. So that's what they're going to be preaching on that defensive line. Hopefully we can get that stuff done. You know what I'm saying?
So what are they going to be now? The violent villains?
Hey, as long as we win a game, I'm down with it.
But isn't villains usually violent? Like, or am I tripping? Like, they're a villain.
They don't always. You have those masterminds that use their brain and not their brawn, though.
Yeah, like Pinky and the Brain. Yeah.
But he still was violent. He put stun rays on people. He was tearing pink. I'm just saying.
I feel you what you said. Sometimes the masterminds are violent. Sometimes they just steal all your money. You know what I'm saying? They do a Ponzi schemes and stuff like that.
Sometimes they let the other ones do the violence and they just do all the strategy.
They the puppet strings, you know what I'm saying? They pulling the strings behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Like
the last time I had to deal with some violence, Curt, the last violence I had to deal with came in the form of me having to say somebody was the queen of something, and
I know Curt suffered from it too.
I witnessed. Yeah, I saw some violence on YouTube with a hat.
Man,
he had to use some Head and Shoulders to get rid of that dandruff itch.
I had violence in the bathroom the other day on the toilet.
That made my
that sounds very distressing, Mike.
I itched my head to my ass wearing that hat. That everything itch. But I crest, man.
I swear I was possessed.
It was that was the worst. That was the word I will never do.
What's different from normal everyday life, Mike?
Yeah, definitely. All right.
I was get this demon out of me.
So I'm gonna go to Luke G first on this one because I want to know what he thinks about this. Who would be the starting Mike linebacker for Detroit at the start of the season?
Alex Anzalone. I don't think for one moment they moving him off to the side where he probably should be. He's your starting Mike. Who else can it be?
It's your best. You already know who it's really going to be. You know it's going to be the All-Pro Malcolm Rodriguez.
Now you definitely know it ain't gonna be no All-Pro Malcolm Rodriguez. I mean, maybe fan favorite.
Yeah.
But no, it's got to be Alex Anzalone. I don't see them disrupting too much with him already being there and things like that. I just don't see it.
I'm gonna agree with you. I think it's gonna be Alex Anzalone. I think maybe by mid-season it may be Jack Campbell, but I think the start of the season is going to be Alex Anzalone. They've been slow walking these rookies, even in OTAs. So I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. So I think Alex Anzalone will start as the Mike linebacker. I think Queen has a different opinion about this. What you got, Val?
Actually, I don't. I'm agreeing with y'all and saying that anal zone is going to be the Mike linebacker.
Anal zone is not fun.
That is the best name ever. That's hilarious.
Oh my God,
I can't unsee that.
I cannot hear that. Oh my God. We're off the rails 11 minutes into the show already.
Yes.
He's going to need some of that hot and ice, or that icy hot,
Oh my God.
For the anal zone.
Ooh.
Oh God.
That's got to be the best. Oh man, I've never experienced that type of pain, but I can imagine that's the man. What?
There's going to be some deep penetration at that linebacker line.
I mean, this is going south real fast, real fast.
Mike, who's the starting middle linebacker for Detroit?
Michael Badgley is going to be the starting.
Michael Badgley. Oh man,
he no longer really has a job.
We're gonna talk about him in a minute, but
it's definitely gonna be Alex Calzone. That's who it's gonna be. Well, they gave this dude a 3-year deal. He's been their main guy on defense. It's going to be Calzone.
And that's, I know it's going to be to some, what do you call that? Surprise to some people who think, just because they drafted Jack Campbell at 18, he's automatically going to be the starter. Absolutely not. They have to, and Dan Campbell's already said this, any rookie is going to have to earn their time on the field. Any player has to earn their time on the field. And we talked about this yesterday, Mike, with the amount of talent that they're starting to bring into Detroit, it's going to be harder and harder for guys that drafted or not to either get playing time, or especially some of those later round picks, to actually even make the team.
Yep. That's what happens when you draft well, and that's what happens when you get talent. This is a little bit different than what we've seen in Detroit. We've never been able to get talent out of mid picks and later picks, and we've done it. Now it's going to be difficult. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. Now, guess what? When you get a player like that, you don't have to get another player. Then you get Jerry Jacobs, undrafted rookie. These are the type of things that happen.
Yeah, and you look at we're talking about guys that are getting playing time. I'm looking at this roster. I'm like, man. You look at a guy like Brian Branch, dipped in the draft. He was undoubtedly on most draft boards the highest ranked safety or DB that guy that can play both positions in the draft. And you look at the Lions roster, where he's not going to have immediate playing time because of the fact of the guys that he has in front of him. So I mean, unless you get a guy like unless Emmanuel Mosley can't be back for the start of the season, it's going to be hard for Branch to kind of get on the field.
Tracy Walker.
I don't know.
I don't
agree
think
with
so.
that.
Brian Branch is going to prove himself, and he's going to get
Brian
on
Branch
that
is better than Walker. I hope that's how
by
it plays
far,
out. Yeah.
by 1,000%. I'm agreeing.
But I don't know if that's how it's going to start out, just like Curt said.
I think
initially.
Go ahead.
I think initially he won't, obviously start, but I think they're going to get him on the field for a number of reasons, because you got to think, like, you're going to have a number of plays on defense anyway, right? And so he's going to get his snaps in. They're going to do a lot of rotating where he's probably going to end up being the slot guy, or maybe they put Chauncey Gardner-Johnson at the slot, and then they put him at the safety with Kirby, or however they do it. They're going to play around with a lot of stuff. And to me, when you have that type of options, he's going to be on the field. The only issue that we really should be focusing on is how often. And if the question is about how often it's going to happen, then this is an easy answer. It's not going to be that often at all.
Yeah, not. I don't think so. Not this season. I get what you guys are saying. Everyone doesn't. To me, I like Tracy Walker, so he's the captain of the defense last year, and he's probably gonna be a captain of the defense again this year. It's gonna be hard to take him off the field. If anybody loses snaps, it's probably gonna be Kirby Joseph to either Carter Johnson or to Brian Branch. That's who's gonna lose some snaps. But I digress. But yeah, so
no, I agree with
you. But it is what it. But I like the versatility that you have with the secondary that they have now. You have guys that can play multiple positions because you can, if say you can move a guy like Cam Sutton around in different positions in the secondary. CJ Gardner-Johnson can play all over the field. Brian Branch, those guys are they play multiple positions. So if there's an injury, these guys, there's not really a big drop off. You can just shuffle guys around. So I like the fact that they did what Brad Holmes did with bringing in versatile players in the secondary. But what we got going on in the chat right now, Val?
Right now, the chat's a little bit ahead of us because we've got another question coming up, and they're kind of talking about that subject. But
let's get into that then. Let's get into that then. Let's get into that then. Is it the next question or a question?
It's the kicker question.
Okay, let's get to that then. We can come back to the other questions. Okay, which kicker would make the Lions roster? Badgley, Patterson, or Romo? Woo-wee. Okay, Mike, we talked about this a little bit yesterday because it actually broke while we were live on your live stream.
Yeah, it broke while we were live, and the odds of that was crazy. I thought it was a joke for a minute, but no doubt, yeah. The Lions traded for Riley Patterson, our former kicker, and guess what? He's going to be our kicker. You don't trade for a guy for him not to, and he's got the bigger leg than Michael Badgley, and he's younger, so it just makes a lot of sense here that the Lions go ahead and make Riley Patterson the guy. I'm sure they'll kick it out. They'll do their little battle here in preseason and all that, but Riley Patterson should be the guy for that conditional 7th round pick in 2026 that we'll never see or care about.
And if you look at that situation, it's probably one of the things, either the higher draft pick or if Patterson doesn't make the roster, that the trade just kind of voids itself out. Because they were initially we're going to just release him because they signed Brian McManus. But there's some kind of things I heard about the situation. They were concerned about Badgley's leg. We talking about Dave Phipp in his presser yesterday. Talked about he's accurate inside 50, but you need a kicker that can make those longer kicks. And the fact that Badgley can't kick off. He doesn't have a good kickoff stats. So they want to get rid of that from Jack Fox. So that's maybe another reason why they're bringing in a Riley Patterson. What you got, Val? Who starts? Badgley, Patterson, or Romo?
Well, honestly, I think, but the other guys were brought in for camp battles to make everybody improve. But in the end of the thing, I'm still saying that Michael Badgley will be the kicker. I gotta be loyal to my boy.
So you're going with the money badger. What you got, Luke G?
Yeah, I think once they made that trade, they pretty much told you what they think of their kicking room. And I think that if it's one thing I can at least count on when it comes to Brad Holmes is he has no problem admitting that he made a mistake. I mean, that's not something that he's going to struggle with. So to me, it's Patterson. He's probably looking at it and saying, okay, I got these things going on with Badgley, but he brought in 2 more kickers. So that vote of confidence for Badgley just went down real hard for me. And then you look at the fact that he traded for him, a guy who was once a Lion that they tried to hide on the practice squad or whatever happened, or he signed somewhere else. They tried to hide him, but it didn't work. So I think that he's like, I made a mistake. And, if you make mistakes and you know better, you should do better. I think it's 100% going to be Patterson. Yeah,
definitely. I think, hey, thank you guys for joining us right here in Detroit Lions. They're probably your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Make sure you go over to Lions Nation Unite. Hang out with the crew over there because we're always hanging out over there. My man Mike Cameron does all his content over there, man, except for the ones, on Chat Sports, of course. But he does a ton of content over there. He writes articles. He does videos. He runs a YouTube channel. He does everything. He's the jack of all trades over there at Lions Nation Unite. Make sure you hang out and go into the LNU store. Man, you can get your Curt Steele gear over there. Y'all see the logo, baby. And the what up, though. You know what I'm saying? The redesigned shirt, man. So go over to the LNU shop, man, over there on their website or in the app. And make sure you hang out over there and join their Facebook group. They got some big things popping over there in their Facebook group. So go ahead and hang out on Lions Nation Unite. I know Val's going to be doing some revamping of Detroit Lions on the Prowl and taking some of that classic gear over there on Lions on the Prowl shop and making sure we keep it available. Some of the classic shirts that my man Jim used to wear on the program. So make sure you check out Lions on the Prowl shop.com. So what are they talking about in the chat about the kicker, Val?
Well, Dan Spanos was referring to something that you said about, I'm sure if he doesn't make the team, the 7th round pick is null and void. Michael Huck says, regarding Riley, I'm asking myself why. Michael Lide says they do want some competition for Badgley, and Jags were signing McManus anyway. Some people wanted us to sign him, but he's not a culture guy and he doesn't believe in the OTAs. LOL.
Okay.
Brad DeWitt says Riley P will be our kicker. Nice to see Brad's man enough to admit he made a mistake cutting him.
Well, I don't think he didn't cut him. He put him on. Well, he cut him and put him. They signed him to the practice squad. And like Luke G was saying, they tried to hide him on the practice squad. But of course, any teams can come and sign your guys off the practice squad. Man, pretty much because they have to sign them to the active roster, and that's what the Jags did last year. So
And I talked to a guy who's a Jags fan, and he said that he liked Riley, but he said he liked McManus better, and he felt that if he got a better upgrade, he didn't care. He said, but if they had went and got a downgrade, he would have cared. So my thing is as long as he doesn't miss kicks, I'm good, because people don't remember this, but I also like the Buccaneers too. And I remember last year, the Cowboys were going against the Buccaneers, and they kicker missed 4 extra points and a simple chip shot field goal, and they lost. So it matters. It definitely matters.
I mean, you have to have, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday. Looking at Riley Patterson versus the Money Badger, I like Badgley, but once we get outside of 50 yards, the guy's not reliable, and you're gonna need that, especially if you got a game that's close. You look how many times some of the times the Detroit Lions went for it on 4th down. Some of that wasn't just because they were just rolling the dice. Sometimes they didn't have a confidence in the kicker to make a long field goal. I mean, it is what it is. You can't count on the guy to make things outside of 50 yards. So,
there were a few games where you could see the ball lose steam, and he was like 40 something, like maybe like a long 40 out. And I'm like, it's already losing steam. So,
I mean, as much as I like the kid, business is business, and this is a grown man business. You can't kick it back at 50. Hey man, you got to find yourself a job somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he can coach kicking or something. But all that being said, man, make sure you go and get yourself the Lions gear at Fanatics.com. The link's in the description below. They're always having a sale, so you can always catch your favorite team's gear, not just the Lions. You get the Tigers, Red Wings, whatever team that you're looking for. Even the Pistons has gear over there at Fanatics.com. That link's in the description below. Your other college teams, Michigan, Michigan State, I know Oregon, and the Fighting Illini, for Miss Val, the team she loves to hate. But
you do hate the team. I don't get it. But...
I have never seen a fan hate their own school. I've never seen. Val, you are unique. I have never seen a fan of a team.
Like, I love them to death.
Yeah. I wouldn't draft none of them. One of them mothers.
Nope. Oh, not a one, son. Not a one.
Now, here's an interesting topic I saw yesterday, and I was like, and I saw an article that was written, and I was like, that article is not going to go well with Lions fans, but I digress. And it was about Jameson Williams. I'm sorry, Jameson Williams.
Ooh, I love this article because I had some fun with it.
But give me your thoughts on his comments yesterday at OTAs, what he had to say. We'll go to you, Queen, because you seem to have a different take on this. What you got?
You know, we usually talk about the wonderful smell of white diamonds on this show quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But woo, Lord, that article had a whole different smell. Because his comments, come on, bro. Okay, I am not okay. I'm not a frequent gambler. I'm not a gambler. I'm a football player. Well, if you're not a gambler, you were on a sports betting app because you got caught. That's a gambler, bud. I mean, you may not be, a serious one, but you still are one. And number two, you couldn't remember any details? Really? Come on now. Good PR, but no, we ain't believing a near word.
Okay. All right. I mean, you have your opinion. I get what you're saying. All right. What you got, Luke?
Now, when I first read the comments and I said that there had to be a typo, so I went and found more articles and they kept repeating, and I said this can't be true. And then the more I went to myself and I went, either he is the worst liar in the history of liars, or he's just that stupid. Like, I could have swore there was a comment made by Brad Holmes that said that he was made aware of the gambling policies.
I think they all are. It's actually in their handbook. Come on now.
I think he was saying he was made aware after.
No, they're made aware. They're made aware of it day one. They get handed a handbook with the damn sheet in it.
Well, hold on now.
If he can't read, he needs to go to school.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Here's my deal. And something had to be, because it's not just the Lions, but you had Lions staffers. And there's another player, a fifth player, that's under investigation right now for the same violation. There are individuals that are saying that the particular especially in JMO's case, as far as the non-NFL type of deal, there are some questions about how that rule was, disseminated throughout the league and how it changed. And you look at it, it's like, there's some confusion to that. But I would say this, and I will leave it at that. He said what he said. He said, hey, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to appeal it. I'm just going to keep moving on. It is what it is. I take my punishment like a man. I going to take my 6 games, because a lot of people are saying he should appeal it. There was a question that they would try, the Lions will try to appeal it and get it down to 2 games because of the fact that how the rule as far as the non-NFL part of it was being disseminated and how that rule recently changed. But
I don't know. Where did that come from? Because a 5-minute Google search can show you the actual handbook with what is exactly written, and everything is clearly in detail to not do it here, not do it there, not do it. It's Dr. Seuss written. I'm not going to gamble here. I'm not going to gamble there. I'm not going to gamble in my underwear. It's clearly listed.
I mean, there had to be something that was not clear, because you're getting so it's not, because it's not just say that it was just him, because it wasn't just him.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but I think when you look at it from a little bit of a different perspective, instead of just looking at it if it's just one guy or not, you got to look at it individually. And to me, a guy who apparently stayed in contact with Calvin Ridley the entire time, he knew. He absolutely knew. Oh. Like he
it's guilt by association.
No. He told me he told the media. He told the media that he learned a lot from Calvin Ridley, and Calvin Ridley and them talked regularly and stuff. So he knew that when Calvin Ridley got suspended, he knew that.
What?
Yeah. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
Let's work out with Calvin. Really, they were exchanging sports bets and betting tips. Come on now, y'all can miss me with that one. I'm not buying
ignorance of the law is not permission to break it. So that's
I did not say that. I did not say that. He said I like the fact that he said it is what it is. I broke the law, got caught.
But he said he didn't know about the rule, and that to me is what I'm talking about. He's lying.
He's absolutely.
You guys can say that. I don't know them young man. I can't tell you that definitively that he's lying. I don't know him.
Well, if he's not lying, he didn't read what he was supposed to be reading.
How often did that happen? That happens all the time in life. That happens all the time in life.
Leave it to men to not read the instruction manual. Leave it to men to not read.
Well, women do the same thing. Don't sit here and say it's just men, because it's people that break the rule all the time. Oh, I didn't know. Well, guess what?
Yeah, they're gonna say I don't know when they clearly knew. So
no, but sometimes people just don't know. Okay, what you got, Mike?
I don't even care. It's over with. One of those things where, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I've known about it now for a while. It sucks that there's another one under investigation, but
yeah,
old Army saying called "drink water, drive on."
Yep,
I'm at that point.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta embrace the suck, man, and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. From what the positive note for me is that. From Jeremy Reisman said that whoever the fifth player on the investigation was not a prominent member of the 22 Detroit Lions, so it may be some kind of role player or somebody who may not make
the water boy. The water boy got caught.
Anyway. Rory is definitely his ass.
You and here you go, Mike, with his hateful Roy.
Son of a bitch needs to go, man.
Ain't no Roy, man. Roy getting hated on, man. Man, he can't even talk.
That makes it even worse.
That makes it even worse. What are they saying? What are we talking about in the chat now?
Michael Huck says alcoholics claim they don't drink that much either. He's in denial.
Okay.
And Michael Ed said, then JMO went and passed out $100 bills.
What does that got to do with anything?
From his denial, but then he still he got his money.
What is that? What is that? Him passing $100 bills ain't got nothing to do with that. Because you know what he was doing? He was in the hood, and the kids was out there selling water.
That means he was probably drinking, and that's why he don't remember when he was betting. He was getting drunk.
That makes no sense whatsoever. I'm not playing that joke. I'm not playing that joke. Let's move it on. All right. So one thing I want to talk about, and kind of wrote a little thing about this. I did a little something about the Lions having fans basically can have some confidence in the team this year. And I listened to a couple of things, and I want to see what you guys think about that. And I said a few things that they can have definitely have confidence is, you know, they got the off-season moves. Brad Holmes making some off-season moves, bringing in some guys, revamping the secondary, and that's one reason that the team definitely can have confidence. And then you have some guys that were starters last year returning back to the team. That were set out last year. You know, you're looking at a guy like Big V, you know, coming in. Hopefully he can, reestablish himself as the starting right guard. And then you got everybody. Val loves to hate this guy. I like him. Tracy Walker's coming back to the secondary, being added to that veteran room now in the secondary. You have a lot more vets in there. You look at how young that secondary was last year compared to this year. You have a lot more veteran guys playing in that secondary, and you have a bunch of leaders in there now. So hopefully that can improve the play of the secondary. And just some of those things. So what do you guys think the Lions fans base again? And we're going to talk about this later in the show, but you think the Lions fans should have some confidence in the Lions going forward this year?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I think that you can have confidence in something. The question becomes, are you really confident? So whenever I do like the more advanced pick'em leagues, you have to put confident points on these games, right? And you can only put that number on one game. So say, for example, if there's 15 games, your highest point total is 15. Which game do you feel the most confident enough to put 15 points on? If I were to tell you that I was like 100% confident that the Lions is going to do this or do that, that's a lie. I'm not. I have a lot of question marks and things that I think need to be addressed, and I think I have confidence that they can do these things. But I feel like most of it is coming from what other people did or did not do. You know, Aaron Rodgers get traded out of Green Bay, and they didn't really go and get another quarterback. They're going to ride with the guy they think in the future. The Minnesota Vikings has completely dismantled their defense. Great. The Bears tried to improve the offensive line. Okay, so am I confident? Yes. But am I over the top confident? I can't say I am. Not at this point.
Just so you know, shameless plug that I wrote that article, put it over there on Yardbarker, and I'm a follow-up article next week's coming out of reasons why we should be concerned headed into the 2023. So I got to do both sides of the coin because I know Luke G gonna enjoy the one that's gonna be posted next week. You know,
listen, every article you drop, I try to make sure I promote it as much as possible. So hey, what can I say?
Brother. Yeah. All right, Mike. What do you think, man? Do the Lions have some reasons to be confident heading into the season?
Yes, they have many reasons to be confident.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for that
lightning comment. Like,
did you see how he looked into the camera? Though he looked into the camera just with the state in his face.
And then he did not elaborate at all. Like,
I think that they have a lot to be confident about. Their offense got better, and it was top 5 last year. Their defense got better in the secondary, and especially at linebacker. Their special teams is damn good. It was one of the best, and it just got better with Riley Patterson. And you got Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, and Aaron Glenn back. I don't know Aaron Glenn a little bit less confident, but the other guys, I think they should be absolutely confident. The NFC North right now, it looks like it's for the Lions for the taking. I think the Lions should win the NFC North, and they should have that expectation, and they should be confident in their own play.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that. Now, Val, I have a question for you. What do you think of boy band's retooled body coming into the season? Aiden Hutchinson's all ripped up again. So
look, I didn't start that mess. I was all on Dr. Detroit pointing that out. I'm like, you know, Dr. Detroit's wife pointed that one out for all of us. But, you know, look,
he's speechless.
You know what? If they all want to go out there, you know, showing off, you know, it'll just make it all better for us female fans. I'm just saying.
But I look at that, and I look at 2 players that really worked this offseason. One third-year guy, one second-year guy coming into the season that have really transformed. They're taking their approach as a professional football player seriously. You got Aiden Hutchinson, you know, really revamped his workout program, changed his diet. And Aleem McNeil, he's down to like 13% body fat on a guy that's big and that powerful of a football player as a defensive lineman. I'm loving the transformation of a player like that, where he's really actually putting in the work and really transforming himself as an athlete and not just a football player. What do you guys think about these guys re-energizing themselves as professionals?
I'm glad they are, but listen, to be honest, muscle, can lead more to injury than fat does. So they need to be careful about their injury program. For me, if they're getting that lean and mean, they need to watch out for, injury protocol.
Well, that's why I ain't been getting injured. My fat ass is good.
It's a lot easier to get. Yeah, it's a lot easier to get injured when you're muscle bound than when you got a little cushion for the pushing there.
Mike,
I'm just waiting for Michael Badgley and Riley Patterson to start lifting those weights. Well, really important for them to do it, especially their upper body.
What they need to do the leg lifts.
Yeah, man, I'm not messing with you. All right, you were a former lineman, Luke G. What do you think about the guys transforming their bodies in the offseason?
I mean, I think anytime you can show any level of discipline, it goes towards a bigger picture for me, right? Like, especially with you guys being military people, you know that having a level of discipline creates a different level of outcomes. And I think a guy to commit himself to something like that and to have that level of discipline is exactly something that you want to hear about. I think, it's not so much that he's down to 13% body fat, or isn't it? I don't really care about none of that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's doing what he needs to do to put himself in a position to improve upon himself. And he did it disciplinedly. Like anybody can go out there and do what Albert Hainsworth once did and just decided to eat himself out of an opportunity, right? Like anybody can do that. But the reality is the guys who show that discipline to me, those are the guys that you want, because them are the guys that other people are going to look at and be like, yeah, I want this donut, but my man's over there, he ain't want it. So I can't embarrass myself in front of him. So it creates something that's different. So for me, when I hear any player that's doing anything that's going to improve upon them, whether they're trying to fast or anything like that, if it evolves around discipline, you got my vote of confidence.
I feel you, man, because you be like me, because if he ain't eating these donuts, I'll have to. But
you said, oh, you gonna eat that? Okay, thanks.
You know what that thing? I appreciate you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Up to the cause. I like the video.
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate the donation. Thank you guys for joining us right here in Detroit Live, the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. With a lot of stuff happened, you know what I'm saying? You look at, are you guys concerned about the clips we had yesterday? A couple injuries happened yesterday out there on the field. You know what I'm saying? Mike's favorite linebacker, Rodrigo, went down, and then David Montgomery kind of had a little limping off the field. So what do you guys think about some of the quick injuries that happens during OTAs?
I'm not concerned really about it. It's OTAs. They're going to be extra precautious. This starts happening in preseason or in training camp, then I'll be a little bit worried. But right now, I'm still just chilling back. I'm sure if it was anything significant, we would know. So not right now, not worried about it.
Yeah, what you got, Queen?
Yeah, I'm not worried about any minor injuries at this point. If they would have been a little bit more where it's going to be taken out for a few weeks or something like that, then there might have been concern. But a little limping, that tends to happen when you've taken a break from football. Now you're getting back into it. You're going to get some bruises and lumps and bumps along the way when you first, get back into the swing of things. So I'm not that concerned.
Yeah, what you got, Luke?
I'm just glad everybody else not concerned, because I'm highly fucking concerned. Oh, excuse my language, but I'm highly concerned. I really am. I am 100% like, listen, you got to remember, I'm the one that was screaming, like, why are we trading Swift? Like, why are we trading him? I'm like, we don't like this. We have had injuries. Our GM like injured people. If you have a broke nose and a bad knee, you're lying. And the reality is I'm concerned because I know it starts off small, but the small becomes the big. Like it's sort of like how it becomes a small leak, and that leak turns into something else bigger, or it was a small hole in your windshield. But everybody know if you got a little chip on your windshield, that little thing starts to turn into a lot of cracks and spread. So I'm beyond concerned. I'm horrified. It's the one thing that scares me about this season. We always talk about, like, hey, what if this quarterback goes down? Yeah, which is why I was screaming we need to draft a quarterback, because Nate Stubblefield is not a quarterback for me. He's not the guy.
You call that boy Steph. You call that boy everything but his name. Whose name is Nate?
Listen, he is so forgettable.
Yeah. That
even Nat Cole had to come back and tell him, you're just forgettable. Like, nobody cares about him. Like, if he got cut, will nobody be sad or riot? True. If he got cut, he would still be on the free agent market.
Yeah, you look at him. I think the stat is he's had 37 career passing attempts in 7 years at the pro level, and that's playing in the NFL and outside of the NFL. But at the pro level, he's had 37 career passing attempts. That is not a lot for 7 years. So right. I get what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. I get it. I get what everybody else is saying, dude. Am I overly concerned? No. Am I is my interest peaked? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure these guys can be on the field, especially, you look at we have a couple more weeks of OTAs to go. They won't hit the field again until I think the 31st or the 30th or something like that. They won't hit the field again until I think the 31st is the next OTA set. So they won't hit the field for another week. And then you look at it, then you have the mini camp, mandatory mini camp is the 6th to the 8th, I believe, or something like 6th to the 10th, whatever it is. But there's plenty of time between now and the start of training camp where these guys can heal up.
Right, and this is also another opportunity for Lions fans to watch the team and watch how the staff handle those injuries. Are they doing things differently? How are they addressing it to make the players get back healthy faster? And all of those things too. So you have to take that into consideration through this offseason on how the training staff is handling these injuries for these players, because that is going to directly help you notice how that's going to be during the preseason and the regular season, and how that could impact games for the Lions this year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's one of those things you definitely can measure, especially because they have new athletic training staff members this year. So how is the new staff going to be able to react and make sure we can get these guys back healthy in the shortest amount of time possible, saying during the season. So, but you want to slow walk them. I agree with you, Mike. You slow walk them during OTAs and doing training camp, because you don't want to rush them back too soon, and then you're dealing with lingering injuries. So, I'm
almost starting to think we need to start running them, because this walking is getting people to drop like flies. First, we got people going in rookie mini camp walking. Now they slow walking in OTAs and they all getting hurt. Start running. Just jog or something at this point. I can't.
Well, Jahmyr Gibbs is back out there yesterday, and I would tell you this: that Joker, that's one guy I'm looking forward to seeing on the field, because that guy's smooth. He doesn't have any wasted movement. Watching him at Alabama, that was one of the guys I was like, man, this kid is freaking good. I'm like, this kid's fast. He can play back. He can play a running back. He can play receiver. We'll put him out there, and he does a number of things well, and he's a game changer. He definitely is an explosive player. So I'm happy that they kind of slow walked him, and it was a lower ankle sprain, so that's not a really low ankle sprains aren't that big of a deal. So we just want to make sure we got him back in a where he can just get back out there. You didn't want to just throw him back out there. Luke is like, no, Mama, no.
Listen. I'm trying to be optimistic, because every year it's a player that we don't expect to go down that goes down. Yeah. Or it's a player that we look at like, it says, man, Luke panics way too quick. I'm not panicking. I'm just saying, listen, I had concerns about our injuries going into it, and
he panicked so much he got off the bus.
He panicked so much we lost the signal. So until Luke gets back, we'll go through some of the fan comments here.
What we got?
Michael Leda says, oh, wait, hold on. I want to get to Brett first. Brett DeWitt says, I'm confident in our veteran secondary, just wondering how long it will take them to build chemistry. And Michael Ide responds to that with saying, considering all the connections among our new secondary players, I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah, you look at what's that? Mosley and Sutton were college teammates, so they have a what do you call that, degree of familiarity. And then CJ Gardner-Johnson is really returning to Aaron Glenn, where he played in that defense that the same secondary coach down there in New Orleans. So I think that they will be all right.
So, and our friend John Kapler asks, well, how has Teddy Bridgewater signed with anyone, or does he still have an open contract with the Lions?
Well, I think that from what the talk was, you may look at it where you may look at Bridgewater maybe signing a contract closer to the start of training camps, or be one of those guys that may want to sign a contract after that, at the end of the preseason, where he's, he doesn't have to go to camp. He just comes in after. But, some veteran players don't like the grind of training camp. A lot of guys, they, like look at Dominican Sue or something. They don't like that grind. They'd rather sign a contract after the training camps are over with. But we'll see. But from what is going on right now, I think that hopefully they think that's still a possibility. You look at our our backup quarterback position is very, very dismal right now. Like I said, Nate Sudfeld, 37 career passing attempts. You draft Hendon Hooker, but from all intents and purposes, he's not going to be playing this year. Coming off the ACL injury, he's not. I think that he's not even available. I don't think the Lions even make him available to.
He might be late. He might be available later on in the year, and this is where I could kind of see him getting some reps in. If the Lions can make it to a point where they can get ahead in the game to some point and kind of secure a good lead, then you might see Hendon Hooker get some reps in the fourth quarter or something like that.
It's going to be later on. I think that will be.
But that would be later in the season.
In the season. Okay, finish your point, Luke.
No, I was just saying that I'm not trying to panic, but every year we always expect certain players to come out and perform for us, and then they end up getting hurt, and we don't get to see them perform. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like every year I'm trying to figure out like who is that guy. Like we can almost make a whole entire game, what's the game where you like put a bet on something like squares or something like that. You can almost make a and like who's the guy that's going to go down first.
Yeah,
something like that. Like, and I'm telling you, it's one of the things where it's going to happen. The question is just to who. Like, that's the thing. It's to who. And so anytime I see these type of situations come up and they're happening so early, I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. I got what you're saying. I hear you. All right.
So Curt, are they going to put Hooker on IR? You think?
I think he's going to start. He's going to start it on the PUP list. He's going to start a PUP list because they can't put him on IR because IR are for injuries that happen in the NFL. He's going to be like J-Mo was last year, where he goes on the PUP list, where he goes on the physically unable to perform because the injury happened in college and not the pros. So that's why he'll go on the PUP list.
I don't think he's going on the PUP list neither.
You think he's gonna? What do you think is going to happen to him?
I think the Lions were very smart to implement a rule change that benefits them for real. You're talking about a rule change that allows for them to do, because he go on the PUP list, he can't practice. You want him to practice. You want him to get reps and motions and stuff like that. I think they just going to keep him at that third emergency quarterback.
If that's the case, he's going to have to make the 53-man roster.
Oh, he's making the 53-man roster. Make no mistake about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I can agree with you, Luke, on this one.
The emergency quarterback rule is the fact that doesn't cost you an active game day roster spot. So that's where the third. So like,
and I think that's why the Lions wanted to implement that so bad, and they could put Hooker in that spot and still be able to take advantage of that.
Well, we has to get medically cleared to start practicing. So that's gonna. I don't think he gets medically cleared until after the start of the season. I don't think he starts on the PUP list.
I don't know how extensive his injury is.
Yeah,
it looked like he's doing pretty good to me.
I mean, yeah, but that still doesn't mean you.
I mean, wasn't J-Mo? Didn't J-Mo have the same injury, or was it?
Yeah, J-Mo had.
And he was out there practicing.
Nah, he wasn't out there practicing. He wasn't able to practice until later on in the season. You remember he was walking around with the football in his hand all last offseason.
Not all last offseason, because he was out there practicing towards the half of the season.
In the middle of the season, no, he was not medically cleared to practice. He started the season on the PUP list, so he was not able to practice.
Yeah, J-Mo was on the PUP list, and he can't practice when you're on the PUP list.
Yeah, he was not. He could not practice at all. No, he could do individual working out, like he can do but he couldn't be like on the field when the team was practicing. And all he could do was work with the trainers on the side, stuff like that. But all right. So last question, and I'm kind of modify it because I had one thing, but give me on the scale of 1 to 10. Give me your confidence level of the Lions winning 2 playoff games. One that puts them in the NFC Championship. We talked about this on the what's more likely segment we had earlier this week with my man LL. So on a scale of 1 to 10, give me your confidence level in the Lions winning 2 playoff games this year.
3.
3? Okay.
3. I think we have a road that's been set up for us to get there, but I also think that once we there's other people that we're going to play roads there's going to be more tasking on us and stuff like that, and we need to get to them games in good shape with advantages and stuff. In my opinion, we gotta win a division and make it to where we have a playoff game at home, and then you figure if you win that playoff game at home, the next game is not going to be at home if you don't come out with a record high enough to deem you to have the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So 3 for me, 2 playoff games, 3.
Okay, 3. What you got, Mike?
I'd say 2. I think it's going to be really difficult to beat the San Francisco 49ers at this point. I still have them higher. Philadelphia Eagles would be really difficult. So man, you've got to crawl before you can run. You know, right now we haven't won a playoff game in forever. So you just got to win that first one for me before me.
Okay,
man, we're going all the way to the NFC Championship, Super Bowl.
Okay, what you got, Queen?
Look, if you were asking me a confidence level in them simply winning the NFC North, I'm at a 5 to 6 in that respect. And so for 2 playoff games,
okay,
I'm with Mike here. It's a 2. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a 2.
All right. So 1 playoff game, 1 to 10. What you got? Let's go around the horn quick. 1 playoff game.
1 to 10. 8.
8. Mike.
9.
9.
We're gonna win I think the whole playoff game and win it.
I feel like Mike is that a-hole on a Price is Right who goes, what he bid? $1.
That is exactly who I am. I am that guy.
Val, what you got?
I'm going 3 or 4
for 1 playoff game. She's going
for 1 playoff game.
Okay. All right. So thank you guys for checking us out right here, Detroit Live to the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. All right, it is time for us looking at that, Mickey. It's about that time for us to go ahead and wind it down and get out of here, man. My man, Mike Kimber, tell everyone how they can find you and your content.
You can find me by searching my name. That's pretty easy to do. Or you can search my old name, Micro Mike.
Or you can search IHateRory.com.
www.RoryHater.org.
Oh my God.
Well, hey, you can find him over at Lions Nation United as well, man. He does a ton of stuff over there. And you can find him on Chat Sports over there on YouTube, since he thinks it's a secret squirrel to tell you how you can find him. But thanks for hanging out with us. Give us your final thoughts for today's show, Mike.
I appreciate everybody hanging out.
Short and sweet, to the point, damn it.
This
he is having way too much fun with this. He's like, "Yep, that's it."
No, he's saving to enter his little troll comment at the very end when we go to click off live, and he can see it's that little comment in.
All right, Val, give me your final thoughts for today's show.
Now, I don't want to say it's a happy weekend, but I wish y'all well on this Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. If you're drinking, don't drive. And go out and find veteran families and do something nice for them this weekend if you can. And show your love and support for the sacrifices they made. We've got a lot of veterans here. I know Mike is a veteran and Curt is too, but it's not for them. It's for those who have actually sacrificed their lives and it has affected their families and children and all of that stuff. So please go and support them this weekend and during your celebrations.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Val. You don't know how many times I had to tell people, please do not wish me a happy Memorial Day. Yeah. I am still alive. So definitely thank you, Val, for that. But for there are some who give all, they gave their all, they sacrificed their life.
Some gave all. Some gave some gave all. Something. Yeah.
So you look at that. I appreciate you guys checking us out right here in Detroit Lions of the Prowl. Yes, definitely. When you're out there barbecuing or you're out there, getting your drink on, man, make sure take a second to remember why we are celebrating Memorial Day, and for that is for those who have give the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our nation. But Thank you guys for hanging out right here. Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Man, go over to Lions Nation Unite. Check out my man Mike Kimbrough over there. Doing articles, doing videos, all that good stuff. Make sure you go over to Luke G's Field Review on YouTube and check out his videos, man. He gonna piss you off sometime, but he means well. And
and last week is our last week of lunchtime Detroit Lions talk, guys. So make sure you show all of the love and support for Curt and Coach Mike and LL, because we're switching over to Prowl Nation Roar the following week. So
next week's is it. I have a lot, I'm gonna have a lot to say next week, so we're gonna leave it at that. Make sure you go and check out, me, Curt Steele, over at SideLionReport.com, and make sure you go over to Yard Barker. That's YARDBARKER.com, baby. I got content over there as well. So just support the, your boy, because I'm gonna be around, man. Just because I'm not on Lions on the Prowl all the time doesn't mean I ain't around, because I'm gonna keep bringing you that fresh Detroit Lions content. And thank you guys for all your love and support you guys have shown me over the years. Now it's time to head over to my man Luke G, Brother Reverend Dr. Love Bishop. Step to the mic and say your last thoughts for the people.
Listen, this is always fun and a joy to have. But today's positive quote comes from me. It's a very simple one. Don't let the sacrifice destroy the dream. Don't let the sacrifice destroy the dream. We're getting ready to celebrate a holiday that talks about the sacrifice and the things that people have done. I don't want people to get so caught up into it that they just forget the dream. You see, that sacrifice was not made in vain. It was made so that you can keep the dream alive. It was made for you to have those hopes and those things that you wanted to achieve to be done. There's a reason why the men and the women who decide to serve this country decide to do it. It's so that the people that they planted seeds for can have the shade of the tree that they planted it for. This is what we do. This is what we are about. And we're going to have moments where you're going to look back on some things and you're going to say, yeah, I missed that person, or yeah, this person wasn't here. But don't let it kill the dream. They didn't make that sacrifice for you to sit in that space and not do what you were supposed to be doing. They didn't make that sacrifice for you not to improve upon yourself and go out and start that business that you said you were going to start. They didn't do that so you didn't have an opportunity to get that job that you said that you wanted, or that opportunity to be something that you never thought you could be and greater. Just simply hold on to that memory. Keep the dream alive and understand that the sacrifice wasn't made so that you had to mourn them, but it was made for you to cherish the memories that they left for you to have. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, join the family. And then you heard everybody who you can check out. You know where we are. Come over there and have a little bit of fun with us. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research.
Man, y'all know what you got to do for your boy Curt Steele as we get out of here, man. If you had your lunch today, man, get this napkin, wipe them crumbs off your face, man. Finish your drink and get back to work, baby. And whatever you're doing in life, you guys to boss up. Bow out and be the best version of you that you can be. For the panel, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon. We love you, Jim.